In this video, we are going to continue the topic of relations. So here I have to copy and complete the mapping diagram for the relation x is mapped to 2x plus 4, and this is how you read this. This x here would be the domain, this arrow would mean map to, and this 2x plus 4 would be the range. Now another point to note is that the arrow always points from domain to range. So even on the mapping diagram, you see this arrow going from 1 to 6. It means here's the domain and here would be the range, because the arrow always points from domain to range. Now what we have here is this first member of the domain, which is 1, is mapped to 6. Now let's see how we obtained that. So I'll have x is mapped to 2x plus 4. So when the domain is 1, which means here the domain, which is your x values. All right, so this would be your x values, this would be your y values. All right, this is domain, this is range. So when x is 1, which is here, so 1 is mapped to, you replace the x here with 1 as well. So you'll have 2 times 1 plus 4. So we have 1 is mapped to 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. So you have 1 is mapped to 6. And that's how you obtain this mapping here. 1 in the domain is mapped to 6 in the range. See, 1 in the domain mapped to 6 in the range. This 1 corresponds to this x here, which is the domain. This 6 corresponds to this 2x plus 4, which is the range. So to complete this mapping diagram, we'll have to use these remaining members of the domain to find out what they are mapped to. So now when x is 2, we'll have x is mapped to 2x plus 4. So when x is 2, that'll be 2 is mapped to 2 times, you replace the x here with 2, plus 4. So you can clearly see here the x is getting replaced with 2, so the x here has to be replaced with 2. So we have 2 is mapped to 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4. So 2 is mapped to 4 plus 4 is 8. So now we'll come here and put 8, and we put this arrow going from 2 to 8. So now on our mapping diagram, 2 is mapped to 8. And here in our working, we see that 2 is mapped to 8. So similarly, you do the same thing for 3 and 4. So we have 3 is mapped to 2x, which is 2 times 3, plus 4. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10. So we have 3 is mapped to 10. So we write 10 here. We put arrow going from 3 to 10. And next for 4, we'll have 4 is mapped to, and again it's 2x plus 4, so that's 2 times x, which is 4, plus 4. So 4 is mapped to, 2 times 4 is 8 plus 4, and 8 plus 4 is 12. So 4 is mapped to 12. So we would write 12 here, and we draw arrow going from 4 to 12. So 4 is mapped to 12. And that's it. We have completed our mapping diagram for the relation x is mapped to 2x plus 4. Now, I'd just like to highlight something here. We said that this x here is the domain because the arrow always points from domain to range. So x here is the domain, and this 2x plus 4 is the range. Now, the domain would be your x values, and your range would be your y values. So this 2x plus 4 gives the y values. So that means that y is equal to 2x plus 4. So I'll put that x is mapped to 2x plus 4 means the same as y is equal to 2x plus 4. So if we had our relation in this form, y is equal to 2x plus 4, which means the same as x is mapped to 2x plus 4. If we were to do this first mapping here, when x is 1, you would write when x is equal to 1, we're going to have y is equal to 2x plus 4, and just replace the x with 1. So y is equal to 2 times 1 plus 4. So y is equal to 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4. So y is equal to 6. And this would mean 1 is mapped to 6. So whether you work it like this or like this, it means the same thing. All right, so in this question, we want to draw a mapping diagram for the relation x is mapped to 2 to the power x, so domain mapped to range. So 2 to the power x is your range, so that means y is equal to 2 to the power x, where the domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 1 to 4 is the members of the domain. So first we'll set this up as x is mapped to 2 to the power x, and our first member of the domain was 1. So we'll have 1 is mapped to 2 to the power x, and x is 1. And 2 to the power 1 is just 2. So we have 1 is mapped to 2. The next member of the domain is 2. So again, we have x is mapped to 2 to the power x. And when x is 2, we'll have 2 to the power x, which is 2 to the power 2. And 2 to the power 2 is 4. So we have 2 is mapped to 4. Now, if we just stop here and start setting up our mapping diagram. All right, so we have the members of a domain here, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are x values. We'll put the range on this side, which are y values. So far, we have 1 is mapped to 2. So that means we're going to come here and put 2. And we're going to put an arrow going from 1 to 2. Next, we have 2 is mapped to 4. So we're going to come here and put 4. And we're going to put an arrow going from 2 to 4. So now let's continue with the others. We need to know what 3 in the domain is mapped to. So we're going to have x is mapped to 2 to the power x. So 3 is mapped to 2 to the power of 3. So see, I replace the x with 3 because 3 is a member of the domain. And this x here has to be replaced with the same number, which is 3. So now 2 to the power 3 is 8. So I'll have 3 is mapped to 8. So I'll come here and put 8. And I'll have an arrow going from 3 to 8. And the last one, we'll have 4 is mapped to 2 to the power 4. And where did we get this 4 from? From right here, because this 4 is a member of the domain, and we need to find out what this 4 is mapped to. All right, so 2 to the power 4 is 16. So we have 4 is mapped to 16. So I'll come here and put 16. And we have our arrow going from 4 to 16. And this here would be our mapping diagram for this relation x mapped to 2 to the power x, where the domain goes from 1 to 4. So here for our third question, we have in the diagram below shows a relationship between A and B. So we have A here, which is our domain, and B here, which is our range. What number should be in the position mark with the asterisk? So we want to know what number is going to go here. So what number is 4 mapped to? Now we can just look at the pattern. We've seen 1, 3, 5. So this looks like odd numbers, right? 1, 3, 5. So obviously, following this pattern, this asterisk is supposed to be a 7. So this means you're going up by 2 all the time. So 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 plus 2 is 7. So for part A, the asterisk is equal to 7. So 7 is supposed to come here. Now moving on to part B, they want us to give a relationship between an element x in A. So x, remember domain is x values. So A is your domain. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is your x values. And the corresponding element in B. So B is the range and these are y values. So basically you want to know what an element in A, which is an x value, is mapped to in terms of B. So basically, they want to know the formula for the relation, what x is mapped to. Meaning, if you go back here, this is your formula for your relation. X is mapped to 2 to the power x. So this is what they want. So again, here, x is mapped to 2x plus 4. So this is your formula here. That is what they want. So for part B, now it's important to know that you're going up by 2 all the time. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 plus 2 is 7. So now we're going to use that 2 and say, okay, if I multiply this 1 by 2, I'll get 2. What must I do to get 1 after that? Well, 2 take away 1 is 1. Let's check that same pattern here. Now remember, the difference between 3 and 1 is 2, and the difference between 5 and 3 is 2. All right, so you're going to use that 2 and multiply by this 2 and get 4. then how would I get 3 from that 4? Take away 1. 4 take away 1 is 3. Let's try it again. Use the 2. 2 times this 3 is 6. How do I get 5 from 6? Take away 1. 6 take away 1 is 5. Likewise, if I multiply this 4 by 2, I'll get 8, and take away 1, I'll get 7. So therefore, your formula will be x is mapped to, you're multiplying by 2, so 2 times x, because these are your x values here that I'm multiplying 2 by, 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4. These are x values. So 2 times x. And then I need to take away 1. So take away 1. So you multiply this x value by 2, you get 2, and you take away 1, you get 1. When I multiply this x value by 2, I get 4. And when I take away 1, I get 3. When I multiply this x value by 2, I get 6. And when I take away 1, I get 5. When I multiply this x value by 2, I get 8. And when I take away 1, I'll get 7. That's why this is your formula. This is your relation. And just wanted to note that x is mapped to 2x take away 1 can also be written as y is equal to 2x take away 1. And that would bring us to the end of this video.